It's August 23rd. That means there's less than a week left of summer. The first day of school is August 28th. It makes me so sad. The summer was so great. I made a couple really great videos, links in the description. That gets me thinking. I'm going to make one last video this summer. And maybe it should be about something that I did this summer. Or something that I read this summer. So what did I read this summer? Wait. What's in here? In my HP Pavilion Elite. The Alchemist. This book was great. It had so many lessons, I could write a whole review on it. I could make the best video ever on this kind of thing. Awesome! Alchemist is a 1988 novella written by Brazilian author Paulo Coelho.
It's Coelho, you moron!
What do you have in this matter?
A lot!
The Alchemist is a book about a young boy on a journey to find his treasure named Santiago. Along the way, he's guided by many omens from the heavens, as well as many interesting characters, including an old man who turns out to be a king. Never heard that one before. A crystal merchant who spends his whole life wanting to go to Mecca, but never actually does. More on that one later. And an Englishman who uses his pistol to trust people. As it turns out, this whole front-facing narrative is just a front for a much deeper and robust story covering a as I called it, of it not really being the destination, but it being the journey to gain that destination. So the destination would be the pyramids, and the journey would be everyone and everything he meets and does along the way. However, this is not really the only book that does this, and it's not really the only thing that does this at all. So let's learn more about it. Before we get to the other instances of this in media and literature, and even real life, we first need to address this in The Alchemist, with one great example of this paradigm. The crystal merchant. The crystal merchant is a merchant who spends his whole life learning to sell crystal. But really his dream, his personal legend, as the story would like you to call it, is to go to Mecca, because that's one of the 5 responsibilities of a Muslim. Look at that. That's something I don't really know a lot about. I'm not a Muslim. But it shows that it's really not going to Mecca that matters to the crystal merchant, as he tells Santiago earlier in the story. It's really the journey to get to Mecca, the desire to go to Mecca, that keeps him sane and keeps him alive. If he goes to Mecca, he just won't want to live anymore. Because it's the journey that's keeping him alive. It's the journey that keeps his cogs rolling forward into the future. Our first example of the concept of journey over destination in fiction is from my favorite video game of all time, Breath of the Wild. This is an amiibo. Eat the amiibo. Eat it. If any of you have played it, you will know that in the game, the results and the rewards for completing long and very arduous side quests are minimal to none. For instance, in the game, one of the side quests, literally gives you poop at the end of it. Poop that doesn't do anything. Poop! Gold poop! Okay, that's kind of a flaw of the game. But really, it goes to show that the game designers thought about this paradigm and incorporated the idea of journey over destination in the game, because your reward isn't really that poop at the end of it. It's really the journey that you took along the way. The next example of this paradigm is in my own life, and yours too. As it turns out, school is an example of journey over destination. Because, really, schools don't want you to graduate for the sake of graduating. They want you to graduate so you learn. And you don't learn by graduating. A diploma doesn't give you any information. The journey to get the diploma gives you that information. So, maybe we have a little bit of this concept in our lives too. Chew on that. Next time you go to school, in about 1 week. Now I'm going to go cry in a hole under my desk because school is in a week. And there's so much to talk about with The Alchemist. I might even have more videos on this. It's like so many ideas. Ideas so that you can change the future yourself, like action civics. Obviously, I'm second civics. Ideas that you can trust people with pistols, as I mentioned earlier. Security is a big deal with trust. And even the idea that, well, you can, like, never judge a book by its cover. I mean, that's pretty early on in the book with the old man, who I'm going to refer to as the old man from now on. Thank you for watching. This has been Second Civics. Frank Gallo out.